Hello? Hello?
Podcast Network Asia.
Hello? Hello?
Podcast Network Asia.
Hi, this is Alec Cuenca, and you're listening to Small Talk. Hey guys, welcome back to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. My name is Alec Cuenca, and I'm your host. And before anything else, I would like to greet each and every one of you who are listening to the podcast right now. If this is your first time, then I hope you learned something from this episode. And if you do, then go ahead and check out the other episodes because those have amazing insights as well. And if you're an avid listener of the podcast, then welcome back. I hope that you are having a great week. And I'm pretty sure that you're excited to meet our guest for this week because this week we have a really inspiring guest. Our guest for today is a host, a vlogger, an influencer, and an inspiration to many Filipinos here in the Philippines and overseas. He was also hailed as the Filipino Times New Media Personality of the Year. Now, with almost 1 million followers on Facebook, he shares his insights and experiences to his followers that help change Filipino lives for the better. He is a dedicated content creator that shares wisdom and spreads positivity through his acclaimed Facebook show, Real Talk Darbs. Now, he is also a host of the podcast under Podcast Network Asia, Wisdom Bars with Real Talk Darbs. Let us all welcome to the show, Darbs Estrabilla. Welcome to the show, brother.
Yo, what's up? Real Talk Darbs, back at it again. Thank you very much, Alec, for inviting me here. It's a privilege, it's an honor. I saw your content sa TikTok and I somehow foresee, nakita ko na, I think one of these days we are gonna be having a collab. So here we are.
Yes, here we are. And that's actually the first time that I saw you then sa TikTok. But when I was scrolling, apparently a lot of my family members know about you. They share all your videos on Facebook. Especially my father and my cousins back in Zambales, they all share your videos. And I was like, hey, wow. I'm interviewing this guy. I'm talking to this guy this week. This is really amazing. So again, thank you so much for joining. And let's dive right in. I want to know how your journey in sharing wisdom started.
Well, siguro it's about self-awareness. Previously, I just really have this in me. When I was a kid or when I was a student, I always loved to speak in front of people. And that when there's essay, I love it. I think I'm born to answer essay questions and I can answer it even without preparing. So little did I know that is one of the things that I could be really enjoying. I was a purebred content creator at that specific time, high school, way early in 2000s. So, ang ginagawa ko kasi previously is that pag merong mga role-playing, always talaga, I'm the go-to guy for that. Then, somehow, even in college, that was the case. And then eventually, life hits hard. We have to be adults. So, I went to abroad in Dubai, 2012. And then all of the creativity was suppressed because the mode was on survival mode. So I have to find a job. I have to somehow survive. It was very difficult on my early days no nandun ako sa Dubai. And then, I don't know, eventually, when you really know what you want, eventually, it's talagang lumalabas talaga siya eh. I mean, for me. So, even if I was having a very corporate-like job, kasi I'm in sales in So, medyo tugma siya because I like speaking in front of people. I like closing. Pero it's still different when it comes to content creation. So, siguro 3 years ago, there was a group. And then I was invited over as a host. And then there, I really realized na I have something parang innately kasi tinabi ako sa isang host that is parang veterano na siyang host. And then I was very new. And then I was able to realize na nakakasabay ako sa kanya. And sometimes, siya pa yung nagbabakil. So, that was a self-awareness that I took like deep inside me. And then I said that, I didn't say, hindi ko sinabi na malaki yung ulo ko na magaling ako, but I just realized that I have strength in this. And then, yun, the rest was history. Eventually, executing. And then, fast forward the years, about to reach million, hopefully by the end of the year sa Facebook.
Yeah, we hope that as well. I mean, with the growth that you're having, I really think that you can reach that 1 million, because apparently a lot of not only from your page, but a lot of pages here in the Philippines also shares your content. And but let's just go back a little bit about you said that you started with a corporate job and now you're a full-time content creator. How
Yeah.
did you take that leap? Or did you just wait it out? Or did you just take that full jump na, sige, ito na, full content creation na?
That was a very scary thing, first of all. Pero siguro, I did not jump when I thought that I love content creation and I know I was good at this. So I told myself that if I'm gonna do something stupid, I'm gonna do it smart. So I waited out, practical. Like I was doing everything to my day job. It pays well, very very well. Honestly, my job in Dubai was very little. There's very little instance wherein you think that you're being overpaid, and at that specific time, I know I was, and because I was able to build a strong client base na medyo may leeway na akong gumawa ng content creation. Kasi I'm not in a typical 9 to 5 job. I am in a 9 to 5 job, pero since I'm in sales, I usually go out. So 10 o'clock, I report to the office, 8 o'clock, and then 10 o'clock, I'll go out. And that 10 to 5:30, it depends on me. As long as at the end of the month, I hit my targets, who cares where I go? So somehow I was able to manage and juggle it in between for 2 years. So at that time, I didn't jump, didn't even cross my mind that I'm going to quit my job and do this full time. But I just know that I love doing this. So little did I know that somehow, eventually, gumagana, lumalaki na siya konti, but it was not viable. Pero after siguro this early of 2020, it was March, that's the time where I feel like I was able to establish a very good base. Thinking of it right now, it was, I think, in the middle. It was short of premature. But it's just that I have to make this work. Kasi alam mo yun, like, when you really love what you want to do, there are specific times where when you wake up in the morning, there is that one specific seed inside you that grows. And that once it's there, you cannot ignore it anymore. And that is content creation for me. So I was in a very comfortable job, comfortable pay, and my life was easy. But somehow, it's still, this is not what I really wanted to do. So come content creation, I was able to somehow, nandun na, pumapasok na konti monetization sa Facebook. There was already a little bit of sponsorship deals. So it was okay, but it was way far from my previous, what do you call this, salary. So I told myself, this is just a matter of feeling fulfilled. So I was really ready to take a step back on my lifestyle just for me to pursue content creation. But I'm happy because in those 9 years that I was sales, and I'd love to think that I'm good at it, and I was selling something that I'm not really passionate about, which is food. But those skills, when I try to sell myself to people, like my service, how can they incorporate my influence to their product? It worked, it clicked. So doon ko din na-realize that somehow those 9 years was not a waste because it was just a supplement to where I would want to become or where would I want to go. And that is doing it full time. I'm a one-man show, brother. I edit my videos. I market myself. I close my own deals. I tell. Parang that is something that I love doing in the first place because I call the shots. And that is what I wish for everybody. Like living a life in your own terms. And that is what content creation brought me.
That's amazing. I mean, a lot of people, they know what they want to do, but they are kind of scared of actually going for that, and it may be for a lot of reasons, maybe their family, their peer pressure, and I'm sure that you're no different from them. Like, you also have the fears, when trying to pursue your passion. And of course, there's this notion that your passion doesn't pay as well. Well, in the early stages, of course, it doesn't. But can you just tell us a little bit more about how you handled that fear, or how you handled basically everything that tries to suppress you from doing the thing that you want?
Okay. Regret. That is poison. And I told myself, I might lose. I mean, if I jump, I might not get successful at this. But I told myself that I have to do this regardless of the outcome. Because at the end of the day, the self-awareness enough of knowing that this is what I love to do is already enough for me to take it all in and go all in on this. Kasi took that opportunity to jump. And yun ang inisip ko at that time. Like, it's okay. If I fail, I can get another shitty job. But what I cannot get if I don't jump to the things that I love is that I might miss an opportunity. Diba? I'll give myself time. Most of the time, people don't realize how strong they are until being strong is the only option that they have. So I ultimately decided to put myself in my back against the wall. And because I know my brain is definitely going to find ways how to make it work. And it did. So I'm here in the Philippines right now. Happy to say that even if I'm here, I'm still able to put in the revenues that I'm supposed to get in order for me to survive. Not even survive, thriving. And I'm so happy being able to have the courage to take that opportunity. Kasi mahirap kasi kung nasa safe zone lang tayo palagi. And I was blessed. And I wish everybody is blessed as me. Just knowing the fact of what they love to do. That's it. Regardless of the monetization, regardless of the money, regardless of you being able to live off it, just really knowing what you love to do. That's it. That, my friend, is a blessing, because there's a lot of people who has a lot of money right now who lives comfortably, but they really don't know what is the reason why they are here in this world. Purpose. I love to think that I was able to find that.
I love every single word that you said, especially when you said that some people don't know how strong they are, and sometimes we only know that how strong we are when the only option that we have is to be strong. And I think I can just reiterate the point that you said, that it's all self-awareness, and I love that. And one thing that you were self-aware with your journey is when you're trying to create content is when you started vlogging. Now I wanna dive a little bit more about that. Like, you became one of the best vloggers in Dubai, from Filipino vloggers in Dubai, right? So a lot of people want to know, because they might see that, wow, you're this guy. A lot of people are following you. You have 1 million Facebook, but they don't actually know how it became to be. So can you get to the story of how you started vlogging and how you felt like, okay, I'm good at vlogging, and how can you just tell us a little bit more about the journey?
This is the reason as to why I started a vlogging school, because I'd love to think that I was able to know the recipe of actually creating a content that people will consume. If you think about it, being a vlogger technically is very easy. You can just upload one video of you talking in front of the camera in the internet. You can technically call yourself a vlogger. But the difference is, are you a successful one? And most people are not successful. Why? Because their content are selfish. And that is what I teach. The reason as to why people will consume your content, the reason as to why people are consuming my content is because I don't talk about me. If you think about it, there's very less information about who I am, what I do, what I love to eat. But there's a lot of value that you can take on self-love, how to treat yourself well, how you're not supposed to treat yourself as just an option and you're supposed to love yourself fully. Because in every content that I make sure that I give value to the audience. And that is what I teach sa vlogging school. When I was starting, to be honest with you, the reason why I started is because I wanted to be famous. And little did I know that I'm good at it. That's it. Pero alam mo, it evolved eventually. The first content that I have was shitty. And even if I have the guts and I have the talent to do it, but there will always be naysayers when you try to upload your first video. To be honest with you, I don't give a damn. I didn't even thought about that. Pero once I started to upload content, I don't know, innately I know that I am not supposed to vlog about myself. Hi guys, welcome to my vlog. Hi guys, welcome to my vlog. We will be discussing 5 things that you have to know about me. I don't vlog those things. Who gives a shit? To be honest with you, and until right now, I still don't do it because I would rather spend the editing, the concept, the content creation, and pour it in so that someone can get value out of it than it becomes a selfish content that I just use the platform just to tell us stuff about me. And that is the difference as to why one becomes a successful content creator and one becomes just one of those people who tries to vlog but nobody watches their content. And when I was starting, there was a lot of naysayers. There was even a lot of doubt. It was very difficult. Editing, my friend, is very difficult. I can still remember when I was trying to create my content, inaabot ako na I start 7 o'clock, inaabot ako ng 3 to 4 o'clock just for one content, just to edit. But I love it. I mean, I know that I have to go through this. I know I have to go through this because this is what I love doing. And alam mo yung thrill into uploading your video, you see the comments, you see those kind of things. I love that feeling. And every week I'm addicted to it. Not because I want people to see and react to what I do, but I just love the thrill of the thing that I did was good or not. Yun lang. Because I myself is really a content creator. When I was in high school, honestly, people would prepare for a role play a day before the other groups. When I was the leader, I would just prepare 15 minutes and our group's presentation would turn out better than people who prepared. So I was really born for this. And when it comes to content creation, that's what I saw. Pero ang hirap. Meron pang times wherein there were bigger vloggers than Real Talk Darbs previously in Dubai. And those people really looked down on us or on me. Like, didn't notice me, or who is this guy na like trying to be vlogger wannabe. And yun kasi yung time na when I started, that was the burst of like vloggers in Dubai. Kasi marami talaga dun eh. That was the burst. So I have to separate myself from the pack. And the way for me to separate myself from the pack is I'm gonna talk about things that I know. And I'm just going to give you value. I'm not going to monetize. I'm not going to talk about food because there's free food and I'm just going to vlog about food. I'm not going to do that. I can pay for my own food. What I wanted to do is to give value. Eventually, people was able to listen. And eventually, the reason as to why I vlog disappeared, which is becoming famous because I got addicted to the notion of doing the things that I love to do and at the same time, able to help a person. Like when you read a message one night that just because of the content that I have, they stop shooting themselves in the head. That is worth 1 billion views. And I always tell my students, you do not put your value on how much view you have. You put your value on how many souls you change. If you even change one soul, you're good. So yun.
That's fantastic. I mean, that's one thing that I've learned in my early years of content creation. When I tried vlogging, And I think that was the time when people became very familiar with vlogging. So I tried vlogging. You know, I had my first cell phone and I tried shooting myself. Hi, welcome to the vlog. This is what happens with my day. And people didn't really give a damn about it as well. But it all changed when I said the editing process, the thinking process of what content you'll shoot just to show off who you are didn't really click for me. And so I said, I'll stop this and I look for different ways on how I could hopefully touch other people's life, because I think we have a lot of things in common. I think back in high school, I was that person as well when it comes to presenting and reporting and role playing. Sige, ayan, si Alec, ayan. And it all changed when I focused on giving value to other people. And that's what I think helped me grow in TikTok and at the same time help my podcast grow when you just give value. So I think if you guys are listening right now, you're already experiencing a bit of the masterclass of Real Talk Darbs. So I hope that you go check out his school. So before I ask you more questions, I just want to invite all of our listeners to check out more amazing podcasts in Podcast Network Asia. I know that you will like them. Just go check them out, like this one.
Yo, what's up? This is Real Talk Darbs. Join me as we talk about life, love, relationships, and hear me drop wisdom bombs on every talk. Do check me out in Wisdom Bars with Real Talk Darbs podcast. That's Wisdom Bars with Real Talk Darbs podcast, now part of Podcast Network Asia. Check me out. Yalla, bye!
One thing, I think the thing that I love the most about what you said is that you don't care about the views. As long as you change one soul, you're good. And the moment that you stopped someone messaged you that he said that he stopped shooting himself from the head because of your content. Can you tell us a little bit more about how that feels? Can you say right now that you found your purpose?
Yeah, see, when you say purpose, all the hair on my body just, kumbaga, tumaas yung balahibo ko. I just had goosebumps. Yes, I think I did. And is it gonna stop there? Of course not. It's gonna evolve because I'm blessed. Not blessed because I don't have millions or I'm earning. I'm blessed because, alam mo yung, it's a very rare opportunity for you to do the things that you love doing. At the same time, you're able to help people, really help people. And at the same time, you make a living out of it. So that alone is something that I'm very grateful every single day. As an OFW, Alec, I was able to experience waking up every single morning. That's the worst feeling in my life. Like every single morning, I have to go do the job that I hate. I have to grind. I have to do it. Nobody else is going to do it for me. And I have to survive. And I know there's a lot of people who's listening that's like that. Are you supposed to give up? Of course not. I mean, it took me almost 9 years for me to find that. Most people would take half of their lifetime. But if ever you're listening right now, kung sakaling nakikinig ka ngayon, I want you to understand that just being able to be aware of the things that you love is supposed to be something that you should be grateful. Kasi this will all not make sense if we were living even 10 years early or 20 years earlier, 1950s. Your personal happiness is supposed to be the least thing that you're supposed to pursue. But we have to be grateful that we are born in an era where internet is present. Why? Because as Gary Vaynerchuk said, like the one that we have in our hand, this phone is more powerful than what Ronald Reagan used to run the free world when he was president of America. Our phone is more powerful than that. You can change your life just learning and how to utilize it properly. Imagine this. If you are a lawyer and you hate your job, it's practical that you can quit your job right now. Just learn how to create content in the internet. Create your own personal brand. and sell cakes for the rest of your life. You might not earn as much as a lawyer, fine. But how do we define success? Success should not be defined on how much money you have in the bank. Success should be defined with how much happiness you have in your heart and how much you can share it with people. And my friends, what are you going to do with tons of money when every single day you feel miserable? I'd rather have half of that money, even 1/4 of that money. But I wake up every single day not feeling like it's a drag. I go pour my coffee, sip it comfortably in a relaxed manner. And I breathe in. And I think about the things that I'm going to do for the rest of the day, which is what I love. And I think that is one of the things that we're supposed to teach our children. That is what the meaning of success is. How happy you have in your heart, how happy you are in your heart, how you're able to affect other people in sharing that happiness. Hindi pera eh. Hindi talaga pera. You have to be practical, fine. You might not need you need money, but you don't need as much money. You need happiness. And happiness only comes when you do the things that you love. You cannot give what you don't have. So you cannot give so much love if you don't have love within yourself. Kaya nga palagi kong pinupush self-worth. Self-worth. Self-love. Because you cannot give what you don't have. Like you worry, you do not trust a naked person giving you clothes. Yeah. So, self-love. Love yourself. Not because it's selfish, but because you have to in order for you to sustain giving. Kasi merong mga tao, nagbibigay kahit wala sila. Pero at the end of the day, mauubos at mauubos ka eh. And until when are you're able to give? You can't. You have to fill your own bucket first in order for you to fill other buckets. Hindi pwedeng kalahati ka lang at pupunuin mo yung iba. For a time being, yes, you can, but you cannot sustain it. And I'm here for sustainability. And you're going to be able to sustain love, giving love for a longer period of time by loving yourself. Yun. Dami kong sinabi.
Yeah, I mean, that's really loaded. Siguro, ang one thing na isa rin talaga tumatak sa akin, yung sa, you gotta love yourself worth. I mean, we have
sure.
similar content. You know, I'm also pushing for self-love and self-worth. And I think I can just, echo the things that you've said, that it's really hard to pour from an empty cup. That's why you should be able to fill your cup first, right? But Darbs, can you give us a little advice on the people who are listening right now and say, "Oh, we know that, but apparently we don't know what we love. We don't know what are the things that will make us happy." Can you give us some practical advice on how people can find their happiness, or how people can define better, their definition for success?
If you go inside a room and then there's 100 people there, and then you ask them, who here loves oyster? 50% of people would raise their hands and they say they don't love oysters. If you ask those 50 people, who here tried oysters themselves? For sure, at least more than 50% would raise their hands and tell themselves and tell you that, no, I didn't try oyster. It's just that I saw my friend eat it and they said they don't like it. Moral of the story is that you have to try and taste things in order for you to know. The reason why you're not able to find the things that you love, because you haven't tried it. You think that bulalo is the best ulam in the world, but have you tried sisig? You didn't, because you think it's pig's face. Diba? Ew, dirty. But my friend, that pig's face is hailed as one of the best pork dish in the world. So, going back to the question, Alec, what I want everybody to understand is, do not have a limiting belief that just because your friend told you that the things that you're about to do doesn't make sense. You're not supposed to take his word for it. You're supposed to try it, because hindi mo alam. Maybe he doesn't have the skill to do that, but you have. Focus on the thing that you think you love doing. And if it didn't work, find other things that you love doing. I didn't realize that I'm a good content creator until I created content. And I thought before just that yung pagiging leader ko sa mga content creation or role playing nung college was just a waste. But that was actually the very foundation as to why I'm happy right now. So never disregard the things that you're good at and you love doing. I think you can start from there. Be it drawing, be it baking, be it socializing, be it networking, those kind of things. The only thing that would differentiate you from people who are very successful is those people knows their strength and they triple down on their strength. They don't work on the things that you're not good at. Kasi if you put the same effort, you might be average on those things. But if you put the same effort on the things that you're great at, I mean, you're definitely gonna raise the bar higher. So don't go on defense, go on offense. And the only way for you to go on offense is to really know what you love and what you're good at, and then start from there.
That's really insightful. Like, go on offense. Like, a lot of us are living on defense. It's time to go on offense. And thank you so much for that. And again, before we actually talk, I actually ask more questions. Let me just invite all of our listeners right now to listen to another episode, another show from Podcast Network Asia.
Hi, this is Sanaya, and I'm a well-being junkie. It's true, I admit it. I love everything to do with mind, body, and energy, and I'm constantly on a journey of learning, exploration, and self-discovery. So I created a podcast to talk to experts, influencers, and thought leaders to be inspired by new ideas. So join me on the Project Loving Myself podcast, because the most important relationship you will ever have is the relationship you have with yourself. You are loved.
So, you talked about how you were before in a corporate job, how you were waking up and doing the stuff that you don't like. Can we get a little bit on right now? How is because I'm a big fan of habits, and I always ask my guests about their habits. Maybe a lot of people can learn and apply these habits in their lives, so they could, hopefully level up their game. How is a typical day of a full-time content creator look like?
Very messy. Ang mahirap kasi, I mean, this is one of the things that I know I'm supposed to be improving, because I don't have a fixed schedule. Because I'm here in the Philippines specifically, kasi nagbabago lahat ng schedule. If I was in Dubai, what I do is I wake up 10 o'clock, I do my workout, and then I think of a content, I post a content, everything goes. Tapos the main day for me is my Facebook Live, 1 hour. And here right now, ang ginagawa ko is I wake up siguro around 10, 11 o'clock. I'm not a morning person, by the way. And that is why I want everybody to understand that is the benefit of living a life in your own terms, because nobody tells you what to do. And at the same time, I work until 1 to 2 o'clock in the evening. Kasi wala kasing switch off. It doesn't even feel like work, honestly. Sa totoo lang, it doesn't. It's just that I do my errands, like a client pitch, a meeting with one client, sorting out my contents, publishing on other social media platforms, those kind of things. Pero siguro what I would recommend to everybody, specifically to those aspiring content creators, is never take away that workout in your regimen, kasi it clears the head. Siguro second na lang yung aesthetics. Siguro number 1 is health. Number 3 yung aesthetics. Number 2 is because this is what keeps me on shape, tip-top shape, kasi it removes the fog in the brain. Like tulad natin, Alec, like specifically you, me in a podcast, or me in a Facebook Live, hindi pwedeng sabaw. Kasi I thrive at spontaneity. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I thrive at that. And I know that is my strength. Kaya nga I always do Facebook Live. And so that is one of the things that makes my head like on tip top shape, is because of working out. Yun.
Okay, so let's talk about now your content, because I've seen some of your contents, and most of them, at least those who went viral, are played by skits.
Yeah.
It's like you're creating a scene and you're role playing. Where do you get your ideas for your content?
That's a very good point. I just had this one bago ko tong content. It's called Boy versus Man. This was just basically just like recreating my high school days. Like, I'm here in Jensan. I know a content creator who's good. I told him to go in my house and then we're gonna think about the content. I don't have a content in mind. I don't have a topic on mind. And then pag dumating na siya, and then that's the time that we discuss. What are we gonna do? I don't know. Well, I don't know too. So, pero that's my strength eh. You can put my back against the wall and I'm able to somehow find ways how to get around it, and get around it not just smoothly, but kumbaga with flying colors. I don't know. That's my brain just works like that. I'm not really good at reading scripts. Just give me a topic. I don't think about even the topic for the entire day. Ganito yan. Like specifically for Facebook Live. Do I plan my Facebook Live topics ahead of the month? No. I plan it 30 minutes before doing live. Because my head works like that. I have to... Kasi social media is so dynamic that there are specific topics that is in right now, specific topics that are not. So, kumbaga, tinitimpla ko yan until the last minute that I'm supposed to put out a content. Then eventually, I put it out there. Yung topics naman na iniisip ko, on the spot lang din yun. Like, when we're about to shoot, takes us 15 minutes to think about it. Okay, this is a topic. I have a content right now. It's out, I believe, the single mom. Yun, single mom. It's just out. I just posted it 9 o'clock. So yung topic na yun, it's just out of the blue. Ano ba yung usual na problema ng mga tao? Single mom. So you act as if you don't want to marry someone, you don't want to pursue someone because she is a single mom. And that is very relatable kasi ganun naman talagang iniisip ng karamihan ng mga lalaki. And what's good about the content is there's no script. Like, lalo na yung ginagawa namin, it's just topic. There's no script. Just blow by blow lang yan. Most people think na I don't know, maybe people think that I have a script beforehand, but to be honest, I suck at reading script. So I rather be very spontaneous about what I say. So anyway, may editing naman sa gilid. So it can be natatanggal naman yung mga baling grammar, yung mga stutter konti kasi hindi naman talaga perfect eh. Pero eventually, that's how I work. So, are they supposed to follow me? Of course not. I mean, everybody has their own creative flow. One might be very good at planning, at thinking, or what are they supposed to do. It's just about self-awareness, sa totoo lang. Because I tried planning, thinking. It works, but it's not the style that I have. Kasi that is the reason I believe why people were able to like really feel what I say. Because I say it from the heart. It's not because this is... I focus on you receiving the content. I don't focus on my content. Kasi yun ang karamihan na mali ng iba eh. They focus mainly on their content. Kung anong dapat sasabihin. That they forget the content receiver. Pero ako, I reverse engineer it eh. I specifically talk in front of a camera. And the main reason as to why those words are coming out is because I want you to learn something from this. So yeah, that has been my process.
Even though you have this spontaneous style, you have very relatable content, which is really amazing. And I think what really intrigues me, and because my cousin shared this content from you, from your page, it's about love, and I think that's really where you are like ahead of the pack, because a lot of people post their relationship advice, but you specifically like address men or boys or and you talk to them, but not in a I wouldn't say soft style, but it's something from the heart, and it's really funny because I can easily connect to that. And there might be a lot of people that have their egos high and they don't want to agree with you, but I just want to know, there are a lot of people coming for you for relationship advice, and there's you have a lot of content in your podcast about love advice. So how do you do it? How do you talk to people, and how do you talk to men and try to change their perspective in a way that you won't hurt their egos or you won't offend them in some way?
By not thinking about their feelings when I give advice. To be honest, real talk. Sa totoo lang, the reason I believe why I'm so effective is because I only say things that I believe. And I say it not because I want to please you, but because this is what I want to say. And if ever you agree with it, fine and good. And if ever you don't, it's okay. I don't care. I'm not here to please people. I'm not here to change what you want to believe. You can tell me otherwise. Fine, that's your opinion. But at the end of the day, after I drop my wisdom bars, you'd know that you might not agree to the entirety of it, but you know I have a point. Kasi that is one of the things why most content creator as well tends to fade, because they only say things that people want to hear because they are too scared of not being bashed or something.
Yeah.
I created a lot of contents that are very controversial, like why I'm pro no label relationship. I explain myself there. If I worry too much on what people would say, I would have not released that, but I don't give a damn. And this is something that I want everybody to understand. That most of us don't actually do the things that we love, not because we can't, but because we worry too much of what people would think. Sinabi nila ng mga taong nakakulong ay nasa kulungan. Pero hindi nila alam that there are also a lot of people who's in prison. Medyo malawak lang yung nilalakaran. Prisoner of other people's opinion. Why? Because they tend not to do the things that they actually love just cause baka sabihin ng kapitbahay ganito. Baka ano na lang sabihin ng tita ko na ganito. I mean, for once, kung wala kang natatapakang tao at kung yun talaga yung gusto mong gawin, I wish everybody to have idgaf attitude. And I think that is one of the cultures in Filipinos that meron tayong herd culture that we just tend to follow where most people are. And kasi judgmental naman, sa totoo lang we're one of the most judgmental races in the entire world. And if that is the case, that is the reason as well why we don't want to stick out. Kasi if our head sticks out, we're gonna be bashed. Pero sa totoo lang, if I worry too much of other people would say, I would like to think that I would not stand out. Kasi I will just be someone who's agreeing on the basic, the norms, the people would want to say. But I'm here because this is my truth. Sa totoo lang if my truth was okay lang mang babae, and if I can justify that, I'm gonna fucking say it. I'm sorry to say, but I will. But it's just that it's not it. I'm just like trying to tell you what's inside of me. Kaya nga real talk Hindi sugarcoat Darbs. It's real talk Darbs because this is me. Either you want to agree with what I say or not, it's okay, because my intention is not to change your perspective. My intention is to just put it out there. And if ever somebody gets fed to what I say, well and good. If you don't want to eat what I say, then it's fine. I mean, there's more for everyone. For people who wants to consume it. So yeah, siguro I come in that kind of mindset when content creation. That is why very it's something that it's very relatable. Kasi yun naman talaga yung iniisip ng tao Minsan lang, not everybody has the guts to say that. Like, I'm very comfortable of telling my audience na tanga ka. Kasi, bakit ka umiiyak kasi niloko ka ng 3 beses? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Ibig sabihin nun, you're supposed to be responsible with that pain because you allowed yourself to be in one. Diba? I mean, most people very good in making themselves the victim. And that is what stops them from actually becoming a better individual because they think that they cannot do anything about it. But once you accept the fact that somehow part of the reason why you're in pain, part of the reason why you're crying, part of the reason why bakit durog na durog ka, kasi hindi mo hinayaan yung sarili mong maging buo muna. Kasi hinahayaan mong sarili mo na saktan ka ng taong paulit-ulit. If you said no the second time he cheated on you, you would not be on the same pain, right? So, being accountable with your pain helps you overcome it. And that is what I teach people. Not to blame you, not to kick you while you're down, but to give you the control. Kung sakaling nasasaktan ka kasi he cheated on you 5 times, fine, I don't blame you. But I'm not trying to tell you that you're not supposed to be blamed here too. But here's what my advice is. You can make it the last time, and you cannot allow this person to cheat on you 6 times. Because you make the 5th time the last. And that is one of the reasons I believe why most people are able to relate to what I say, because I'm gonna bulldoze them with the truth.
Yeah, I love that. That if you have your truth, just speak it out. Eventually, if it's really the truth, then you'll see that you can gain. It's not just because a lot of people are agreeing with you, but you essentially know that you connect with a lot of people, and essentially your truth is the same as theirs. So if you have your truth, speak it out. And I am certainly loving this conversation. And I want to invite you again. To napapaunahan ko na, but I want to invite you again because today we talked about, your journey, wisdom, but I want to talk to you about love advice because apparently I'm really amazed with your content. Like, I'm in a very long-term relationship, but hands down, if I ever got into like a relationship problem, you're the person that I'm gonna go to. You're the content that I'm gonna consume. And so I'm going to invite you again and we're going to talk about love relationship. But can you give us a little bit pahapyaw na lang para sa mga listeners natin? What do you think is the best way to if they are in a relationship that they want to get out of, but they don't know how to? How can they?
First, you have to have a conversation with yourself first. Is this really what you want? Or is it because you're trying to find something that you want to have that you cannot find in your partner? If it's the second, breaking up with someone is not the option. Kasi you can talk about that to your partner. Part of the reason why you would want to go out is because you feel like there's something lacking. There's something that you deserve more. And once you feel like that, I don't know, you deserve more. Maybe your partner is being an anchor sa'yo, or she's too needy, or maybe there's a lot of things that you don't like what she had become on the times that you were in together. But before opening up a problem to someone and judging them because they cannot fix the problem, you're supposed to have the respect of presenting what the problem is in the first place. The best analogy is you cannot expect someone to answer the quiz if you did not tackle what the quiz is about. Diba? How would you feel if your teacher was giving you a quiz na hindi niya naman diniscuss? That's unfair. So same as true in relationship. Do not expect your partner to fix everything on point just because you feel like you deserve this. But were you able to tell her or tell him the things that you think you deserve? If you did, and you did it a lot of times, maybe that's the time that you can, we go to the second option, into having a conversation with yourself, and you know that this is really the thing that you want to do. You go have one-on-one talk with that partner. And you tell them that somehow you have to be brutally honest. You'd rather hurt them now than hurt them slowly and eventually waste their time. Kasi you're doing them a favor if, in a sense, you're trying to tell them straight up that you want to get out of this relationship anymore. Pero before you try to get out of the relationship, before actually dropping the bomb that it's not you, it's me, you have to tell yourself first that the thing that you want to happen in a relationship, is it something that you can find a solution to by talking to someone? Kasi minsan yun ang nagiging dahilan kung bakit hindi nag-work ang relationship eh. Kasi nakukulangan. Pero yung pagkukulang, kaya kasing punan yan eh. As long as hindi mo siya sukuan. Paano mapupunan ang kakulangan? Dapat merong sapat na komunikasyon sa isa't isa. Communication na hindi communication lang just for the sake of communicating. The communication should be open, and the communication is not just telling what you want, but letting your partner understand the things, why you want the things that you want. Minsan kasi, di ba, meron sila sinasabi, it's not what you, ano yun, I'm responsible for what I said, not for what you have understood. May sinasabi silang ganun. Yeah. But in a relationship, it doesn't work like that. You have to make sure that your partner understand the very thing that you want them to understand. Kasi maybe your partner might have misinterpreted it. And it's your responsibility to let him understand bakit hindi mo gustong pinipigilan kang umuwi ng gabi. Because this is the thing that I want to feel. Like, I want to become independent. And I want you to trust me. And I want you to understand that there are things that I can do myself and you have to trust me doing it. That is the reason why bakit ako nagagalit sa'yo kung pinipigilan mo akong umuwi ng gabi. Kasi you're letting me feel as if I'm not worthy of your trust. So I hope you understand. That is the reason as to why I'm telling you, and I'm annoyed and I don't like it when you ask me where I am. I'm telling you, my heart is yours. But you have to trust me because I'm not gonna break it. Parang ganon. I mean, those kind of things, those kind of scenarios. I don't know if it makes sense, but yeah, that's how I'm gonna give my advice to people.
Yeah, it really makes sense. And if you're listening right now, I'm sure you are gonna want to listen to the next episode that we will talk about. Kinokontrata na kita, bro. Pero
no problem.
We'll have another episode.
For sure.
We'll have another episode. We're going to talk about love and all that things because a lot of people can definitely learn from you. And this has been amazing. And before I actually let you go, I have a small segment which is similar with your name. I have a small segment here on Small Talk called Real Talk. It's like, yeah. So this is Real Talk with Real Talk Darbs. And essentially, I'm going to ask you 5 questions and you are going to answer with either one word, one phrase, or one sentence. And there's no explanation, but I break my own rule because I really get interesting answers from this segment. So let's start. First is, if you could talk to your 18-year-old self, what would you say to him?
Just go with the flow. You're going to be great.
Love that. I love that. Second, name a person who you would want to talk to, dead or alive.
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Nice choice. I admire Gary Vaynerchuk as well. Third, if you are an animal, what would you be?
A roaring lion.
Roaring lion.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, number 4, if you could change one thing in this world, what would it be?
I wish everybody to have the self-awareness of understanding the things that they're good at. Kasi that's where everything starts. Kung alam mo kung saan ka magaling, you push through it, my friend. That is the secret to happiness.
I love that. Self-awareness is everything. Last question, Darbs. What do you want your legacy to be known for?
That I gave more than I took. That's it.
That's amazing. I actually got goosebumps right now. You gave more than you took. This has been an incredible time, an incredible episode. Thank you so much, Darbs, for joining us today.
Thank you.
If they want to learn more about your content, where can they find you?
Yeah, basically I'm everywhere. If you just type Real Talk Darbs in your any social media platform, for sure I'm gonna be there. But my main platform is Facebook. I am on YouTube as well. I have exclusive contents there. And if you are on TikTok most of the time, I'm also on TikTok. Real Talk Darbs also is the handle name. And I am also on Instagram. Of course, my baby, the thing that nobody believed in me when I was starting podcast before, but I'm very happy with where it is going. So if ever you want to listen with Real Talk Darbs and at the same time be productive with your day, you can listen to me at Wisdom Bars with Real Talk Darbs in your Spotify, Apple Podcast. Basically, it's everywhere. But most of the time, people have Spotify. So you can listen to me there. Again, it's Wisdom Bars with Real Talk Darbs podcast under Podcast Network Asia, of course.
Yes, and if you guys are enjoying any of the episodes that I put out, I am sure that you will love Wisdom Bars with Real Talk Darbs. Yes. It's available on everywhere on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and it's also under Podcast Network Asia, which I am under as well. Yes. So go check it out, guys. Again, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today, Darbs.
Thank you very much, Alec. Looking forward for a second episode. So let me know when.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that as well. Yes, guys, so if you like this episode, do make sure that you share this on your Instagram, on your Twitter, on your TikTok, kahit saan, and don't forget to tag me at Small Talk Podcast because I love reading all of your insights. And yeah, I hope you learned something today. My name is Alec Cuenca, and this is Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. Talk to you guys next episode. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to Small Talk. For more updates, you can follow me at Small Talk Podcast on Instagram and on TikTok. That's at Small Talk Podcast on Instagram and on TikTok.
The views and opinions expressed by the podcast creators, hosts, and guests do not necessarily reflect the official policy and position of Podcast Network Asia. Any content provided by the people on the podcast are of their own opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything. The views and opinions expressed by the podcast creators, hosts, and guests do not necessarily reflect the official policy and position of Podcast Network Asia. Any content provided by the people on the podcast are of their own opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything.